Hello, Happy New Year and welcome to Construction Wolf. And the start of the new year always represents in the LEGO world a release of new minifigures, and as you're probably aware of now, is customary of the channel. We always take a look at the minifigures as soon as they release in the launch period and have a detailed review of them. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So I've got the Series 28 minifigures that I've just released yesterday. But unfortunately I was working on January the 1st and just couldn't get down to the LEGO store before it closed because it's a bit of a drive. What I did was I went to my local Smith's Toys because that was actually closed on New Year's Day. So after work on the 2nd, which is today as I'm filming, I had a little wander down, braved all the cold because it's all quite frozen outside in the UK. And then I picked up these minifigures. I'm in luck and there's plenty of stock in store. And as in the past, I'm going to use the QR code on the bottom, as you see here, to get all 12 of these minifigures. And the staff kindly brought out a new box. So there's plenty of stock. And I've been rummaging around, as you can see, and got all 12. So I'm going to go and buy these now. Series 28 then, as you can probably see, is the animal costume theme. It's interesting they've done this actually, because normally within a normal LEGO minifigure series they include one or two of these animal costumes. So they've gone all out and put them all into their own theme. So we're going to be checking those out in a moment. I thought I'll briefly mention how to identify these minifigures, as I alluded to in the video in the store. It's just, most of you probably know this by now, but anyone that doesn't know, just helps them save money. And using the QR code on the bottom, and then you just get the minifigures you want and don't get any waste. So let's check that out quickly. This time I'm using the G-Bricks app because I normally use like web-based ones, but a lot of them are not currently updated with the new minifigures because they only came out yesterday. So I found this one actually is updated and works, and it's very easy to use. So just click on the minifigure scan on the home page, and you see it instantly just recognizes them, and it can recognize multiples at once, so you can quickly scan and store. So say that's the peacock one there, that's the Dalmatian, etc. I believe I've got a full set. So yeah, see, very, very quick to use. So let's see if we've got the peacock and the Dalmatian. So I'll pop this down. So I believe this is the peacock. So I've got my customary measuring jug here. As it's transparent, you can see what's in as I tip it in. So hopefully this is the peacock. Yeah, that's the peacock. And then going by the scanner, I thought this was Dalmatian, so it's always a bit of fun just to double check this is working. So it looks like this from the first one anyway. This app does work, yeah, so that's the Dalmatian there. So perfect, that's a great app, totally free to use and works perfectly. So I'm going to build these minifigures and then we'll do the review. There they are all built up. There's a good variety and they were quite straightforward to build. So let's take a detailed look at each one individually. Firstly, we'll start with the Dalmatian dog seat minifigure. I will just say all these minifigures come with this like lime green like plate to display them on, and I guess it's sort of bright and vibrant, fits in the theme, and in this case might look a bit like grass. So the minifigure itself, sort of very nicely detailed with print on sort of the legs and the arms for the spots of the Dalmatian. So that looks really good. Got the sort of tag, the collar with a little bone, and then the accessory with this one is like a frisbee with print on. So that's all quite cool. I like the sort of the ears coming out as well. So sort of very nice 3D effect, and comes with a rubberized tail that goes sort of between the torso and the legs. So that looks really good. So spinning around, and then sort of panting is like he's like hot in the suit or maybe been chasing after frisbee. You'll see most of these minifigures come with a secondary face. So this one sort of comes with a sort of smirking look there. This is the bunny minifigure. You can see here has a basket with a printed egg. If I just get that out, you can see it's like a very nice sort of flowers etc. on it. So a bit like an Easter bunny here. And just have a look. And there's sort of a bit of details on front, and it comes with the opposable shorter legs on this particular figure, like sort of the nose and the sort of the curve in the air. That's quite effective. Good sort of 3D mold in there. Nothing really on the sides or the back. Got a little tail. Shame they didn't include like a little bit to go between the legs for a small little tail. That would have been quite cute. Otherwise quite plain. No sort of really sort of fur detailing on this minifigure. And then if we just pop the helmet off, you'll see that's the face, and spin around. There's the secondary face just winking. So that's the bunny. This is the peacock minifigure. You can see the accessory with this particular one is this sunflower build. So that's quite cool, but unfortunately the way the arms are, you can't actually sort of, unless I'm doing something wrong, I don't think clip that into place. So it's like holding the accessory, because in some of the promotional images it shows it sort of next to it. It looks like the minifigure's holding it, but that's not the case. There may be a bit of an oversight. They could put a stud in there to sort of clamp the sunflower onto. And then another sort of flaw with these type of figures with like the wings, and I guess they wouldn't really be holding stuff because they're wings, but just it's a person in a suit, isn't it? So that I think that would be doable, which is a miss. But then also the winged ones and the ones with the fins, if you just raise their arms too high and you don't get this with the other figures, it pops their helmet off, unfortunately, so you can't raise the arms that are really high with the helmet on. So that's again a bit maybe of an oversight, but maybe it's difficult for them to angle it out too much and be too far out. So that's a bit of a shame. Otherwise, like, the helmet's quite nice, got that sort of I don't know if you can see it shining like the silver detailing on the top and the eyes, the beak, and then obviously very impressive that goes between the torso and legs is the the tail with all the sort of print, the sort of eye looking print on the peacock, very distinctive. A few feathers on there, dual modded legs with like the sort of feet coming out, and that's the back. Then that's obviously the face. Then there is a secondary face which I'll have to spin around because that's blocked, and you can see sort of a smirking face there. So that's the peacock. On to another bird. So this is the parrot, and so you can see it comes with quite an impressive accessory, which is all printed, a snack box with like sort of bird seed. So that's really impressive detailing on there, and like how they've got the sort of print detailing on the wings, and again it has the same problem where if you move too much, just pops the helmet off. Unfortunately, you can't raise the arms too much, or should I say the wings. And then actually while we're taking the helmet off, you can see like sort of the eyes and the beak. That looks quite good. And then underneath you'll see the lady, got a bit of a sort of eyeliner on there, bit of detailing with the feathers, but not too crazy. And then that's a secondary face like squawking maybe, or I don't know, singing. Put the helmet back on, and then it comes with this nice cloth pieces for the tail. You get two that you can put in between, and they're just like how they're staggered, and you can see the different colours. So that's quite a nice detail. So this is one of probably the better minifigures in the series. This is what LEGO call the fluffy cat minifigure, and so you've got a decent helmet with like the sort of tufts coming out for the fur, and obviously the sort of face with the nose, the eyes, and the ears. Otherwise, I think this is a bit of a sort of lackluster minifigure, and probably the worst in the series. Not a lot of print detailing for fur, absolutely nothing on the legs whatsoever, totally plain. A little bit on the front with a collar and a tag. Even the accessories a bit weak, it's just a little sort of ball of yarn. They could have maybe given you a second accessory, because some of the other ones have two accessories. Like maybe some catnip or something, or a little toy or fish, that would be more interesting. It does have the rubberized tail though, so that's something going for it. But otherwise, quite a plain minifigure, I would say. And that's the secondary sleeping face. Here's the koala. Obviously, going to Australia, got a boomerang there, so that's quite a cool accessory to have. And then what probably is the eucalyptus leaf. And then again, not much sort of print detail on this one at all. A little bit fur on the front, and that's about it really. Spinning around, nothing at all whatsoever there. So quite plain on the back, but got nice little ears on the helmet and obviously the face again. And if we just take the helmet off, we see that's the main face, and then we've got that is quite nice detail with the sort of sleeping Zeds on for the eyes, or the eye mask. Here we have the dolphin. Although if I turn the figure on a side profile, you see the nose is a little bit short, so maybe it could even be a porpoise minifigure. So as you can see, you've got the sort of flippers pieces, and again the same sort of issue with the feather ones, just pushes the helmet up, and no sort of grips in there to grip the accessories. You can see it comes with a nice sort of clamshell, sort of a pearl in a sort of clamshell with that pearlescent piece. That's quite cool to have. Let me just spin around. You can see quite plain, but the sort of dolphins don't really have any sort of sort of fur or anything like that. So I can understand why it's plain, but very impressive. Helmet piece that goes around the back with the fin and the tail. So they've gone all like that, so you can't complain too much. And if we pop that off, you can see a secondary face with some shades. I think the lion suit guy is quite an impressive one. I like the expression on the face on the inside, roaring, or maybe about to take a bite out of that chicken leg. Although hopefully it's not a pheasant leg, because the pheasant suit guy needs to be careful. But looking at the actual headpiece, then that's very impressive. With the mane and sort of the snout and the teeth, the eyes all looks really good, very well detailed. Again, the printing on the actual body is a bit weak, just a bit of fur on the front and a few bits on the legs for the claws. Spinning around, you can see it's generally quite plain, but it does come with this nice rubberized tail that starts between the legs and the torso. But yeah, quite a decent one overall though. It's the headpiece that makes it on this one. And then if we pop off the helmet, you can see that's the secretary face on the back. I think the frog suit ties in very nicely to the accessories with you know, the expression on the face blowing the bubbles with that nice pearlescent piece being the bubble, and then you get this nicely printed you know, sort of bubble mixture pot. And the minifigure itself, you know, I think looks quite good. There's some print detailing on, you know, sort of the legs, where you've got like sort of spots, maybe like sort of scales. The head piece, you know, it does the job. It's nothing too crazy compared to the others, but it looks good. And then you do get some detailing on the sides with the arms. So you've got the dual mode legs and some print detailing on the back. Let's look at the secondary face, which is you know, sort of a happy expression, not blowing the bubbles. So we spin that back round, and you can see the whole suit like so. So yeah, I think that's quite a decent one. Next we have the crocodile suit minifigure. I really like the accessories with this figure. You get the, you know, the life ring, and that's sort of got a sort of transparently pink piece with white. That sort of looks really good. And then you get a little rubber duck too, so that's quite cool. And the headpiece, you know, is very impressive. You know, with the sort of teeth, and like it sort of, you know, comes out quite a bit for the big sort of crocodile mouth. You see the little minifigure head poking out. So that's quite impressive. And then it also comes all the way down here to have like a tail, and it's all, you know, sort of ridged as well. Nice texture to it, so that looks really good. Again, with some of these, the print detailing sort of minimal, but it's not too bad here. Maybe they put more sort of scales on, but then you wouldn't see that on the back anyway. Let's take a look at what's on the back. Yeah, absolutely nothing, but it's hidden anyway. And that's the secondary face. And then we just spin back around, you can see the face unobscured there. So that's the crocodile suit. This is the monkey suit, and unsurprisingly has the banana as an accessory. So yeah, I quite like this one. Got like a sort of a cheeky expression there, and got a little plaster. We can see if I pop the helmet off there. Don't know what the figure's been up to. It's a monkey business, and that's the secretary face there, you know, being cheekier still with a tongue out. And then we can see another sort of rubberized tail. They've used quite a lot of these rubberized tails in the series, but looks spot on. You know, sort of a curve to it. Otherwise, you know, sort of quite plain on the print detailing, a little bit at the front, but still quite nice minifigure. Last up, but certainly not least, is the goldfish minifigure. I quite like this one. Good detailing with, you know, sort of the, for shining the light, you see gold scales it's a goldfish. You know, sort of quite sort of different helmet with the fish mouth. That looks quite good, and obviously, you know, the sort of flippers there. I like the accessory that's printed with the fish food, with a little goldfish print on it, so that's quite nice. We just spin around, you can see all extends down, so you've got fins and, you know, a tail on there, so yeah, that's quite well done. And if we just pop the bit off like so, you can see, you know, sort of the happy face, and then just spin back around, you can see the face unobstructed. So yeah, that's the goldfish minifigure. With that detailed look at all 12 minifigures, let me know in the comments below which one's your favourites. I think with this series, there's not really one standout minifigure. It's very well balanced, and it's more a matter of personal taste. So it will be interesting to hear what you all think. I think for me, as we're the Construction Wolf channel, obviously we like dogs, so the Dalmatians a particular favourite. And then I also thought the goldfish was you know, quite a well done one as well. But surprisingly, actually, I think my favourite one overall is actually the crocodile. I just really like the accessories, and I thought, you know, the headpiece was very impressive, you know, with like sort of the long snout with the sort of prominent teeth, and then also, you know, sort of the back to the end of the tail was very nicely textured with all these sort of spines. So yeah, that was my favourite, and happy to get them all for my collection. And I'm just trying to think how I might incorporate them into future builds. So I was thinking maybe if I ever did like something like a theme park or a zoo, they would fit in quite nicely. Maybe even like a pet shop. But maybe an easy sort of a way to incorporate them would be to have like a sort of fancy dress party. That would be a nice thing to do. So yeah, I'm quite happy we've finally got a proper set of minifigures in the series, because I think it's been about a year since we had a Lego themed one. Because we had the F1 cars in May, which weren't minifigures at all. I think not many people really liked them. They weren't very popular. And then in September we had the Spider-Man series. They were really well done, but I'm not a massive Spider-Man fan. And I'm hearing in May that it's going to be another Lego themed minifigure series. So I'm hearing maybe they're going to go a retro Lego theme route. So they're going to maybe bring back some old franchises like Barnacle, maybe some medieval, like Castle theme. So that'd be cool to look out for. So we'll definitely feature that on the channel in the future. And hopefully you have found this video useful and interesting. If you could like and subscribe, that would help the channel out. And to those of you that have done so already, thank you very much. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye.